Hello, Brian Larson here, founder of Kingsman and creator of Kingsman Academy. So I'm coming at you with this vlog here to cover, a topic. I reached out to the following that I have on Facebook through the Kingsman Facebook page, really asked what type of topics they would like me to cover to really give some insight at, how I would handle and how really the concept of Kingsman really would be able to handle these situations. So, and it actually was number 2 on my list. I've made a list of 52 topics to cover, one a week for the next year. And ironically, this one was number 2 on the list that I had for myself as well. So I'm going to dive into it. And the topic is life-defining moments, ultimately through our darkness. So essentially what we're talking about here is, when things are great in our life, things are just flowing, money's flowing in, love's all over the place. Things just seem to be going smoothly and everything just seems to be good. Those are very easy times to have, be enthusiastic, have a positive attitude and really, have joy within you and really bring other people up. However, the inevitable is going to occur. And for most of us, we've already had those moments in our life. What I say is the measure of a man isn't through those moments where everything's good, fine and dandy and roses. It's easy to be that way. The measure of a true man is when the darkest moments of his life come forward. And what we have to get away from is comparing our darkness to other people's darkness. That is the first step. The first step in the mindset to have during that time is knowing that our darkest moments are no different than the person to our left or to our right that's going through this journey of life. But so often we can be, in our struggles, in our hardships, in pain, and we feel the sense of special. Like nobody can understand what the hell we're going through. How dare anybody could understand what I'm going through right now, how painful this is, or how much hardship this is on me, how emotionally draining this is. And that's the problem. We feel that nobody else can relate to our situation. Nobody else can bring forth any type of advice that could possibly enable us and empower us to start to look at our darkness in a different set of lenses. And really, what I firmly believe is our darkest moments are the defining moments within our life. That held true for me. I believe it was 3.5 years ago, I literally at that time in my life was at the darkest moment of my life. Which seems extremely trivial at this moment, this course of my life, is a 6-year relationship had ended. And I literally thought my life with that was completely gone. Everything I'd ever known was really flipped upside down, put into turmoil, left into being alone, and feeling that, there was no vision, there was no hope for my life going forward. And when you're in those moments, I completely understand that, you don't want to be positive, you can't really see the future, you don't have this grand vision that you maybe once had for yourself. You don't want to hear somebody saying, just be positive, just get over it. You want to punch that person in the face that says that because you feel like you don't, there's no way you understand. There's no possible way, you don't know what's going on in my head right now. But the message going forward is when you learn from those moments, when I look back at that moment when I was literally on my knees, kind of pretty much hoping that everything was over, I no longer wanted to be here, is that was a focal point in my life that trajected me onto a course that I could have never seen on my own back then, had my world not come forcefully in and shooken me upside down. There's a reason that this darkness comes into our lives. I firmly believe that. And we ultimately have the choice to have the faith that this is here for a reason. There is a lesson, there is an underlying lesson within this darkness. And we can either choose to step into our power that lies behind on the other side of that darkness, or we can continue to be trapped in that cage, trapped in that corner, thinking that we are so special, this is so special against us, nobody can possibly understand. There's nobody in this world out of 7 billion people that could ever think about what I'm actually going through. You know, that's the power of personal freedom. The greatest freedom of all mankind is choice. And as we're sitting on our knees in our darkest moments, we can choose to see that there's light at the end of the tunnel. We can choose to really reflect and ask, what is the underlying message that lives within this darkness, that lives within this pain, that lives within this struggle? Because it is there. It is 100% there. And I can see the course of my life in the last 3.5, 4 years, why that came into my life. Why I had to be at my knees. Why I had to go through all that pain, that agony, emotional pain and restriction that I had. The message is so clear. And the thing is, my message to you is you know, I know for myself too that it's going to come into my life in the future. It's inevitable. We're going to continue to go through that, but knowing that it's coming within our life for a particular reason is what can give us the power to make it through. It can give us just enough hope, just enough light and faith that can traject us onto the life course that we're meant to be on. You see, oftentimes this darkness, these changes, you know, these firings, being laid off, end of relationships, tragedies in the families, wherever, they come into our lives with a purpose and intent to recorrect our course of our life, to put us where we're meant to be, to step into our greatness, to step into our full potential that we are here to be as and to live as. So my faith, knowing that I can connect the dots of my past darkness, as hardship continues to come into my life, struggles continue to come into my life, continue to come up against resistance, I know without a doubt that it's there to serve a purpose. I may not like it, it may not feel good, it may not send all kinds of energy and just positive buoyancy and all yippee throughout the day. But if I can take a moment to gain some space and realize, you know, where's the lesson? How can I grow through this versus just going through it? And that's the choice. That's the choice. We can continue to just go through the pain, go through the agony, or we can choose as a man to grow through this and to rise above it. So as that darkness comes your way, if you may be going through it right now or in the future, just remember this message. It's there to serve a purpose. Are you going to choose to stay in the darkness, or will you choose to see how you can grow through it, to rise above, step into your power, and correct the course of your life to where it's meant to be? Because that is the way of a kingsman.